Welcome once again to Breakfast Central. Let's get you through the newspapers this morning, sharing with you the major stories making headlines across Nigeria. We're joined by the publisher CKN News, Chris Kehinde Nwandu, to, of course, x-ray these stories. Good morning, and thanks for joining us, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having me this morning.
All right, let's kick off on this Nigerian newspapers this morning. Interesting story there. It says reps blow hot over CFR honor for Speaker Abbas. It says it raises dust over President's decision to award Akpabio, Kikirekun, GCON, while Abbas gets lower award. That's very interesting. No upper or lower chamber. We are equal, they insist. Their argument is that the Speaker and, of course, the CJN should, or rather the CJN should not get an award higher than the award given to the Speaker of the House, who was meant to be honored with the CFR. And, of course, she was getting GCON. Nigeria requires $410 billion to deliver energy transition plan by 2060, says ECN. Tinubu begins 2-week annual leave in the UK. Confab, ethnic nationalities, youth leaders hail president. It's a distraction, says Huriwa. And in Niger State, 70 bodies recovered, many missing after a boat with 300 passengers capsizes.
All right, let's move away to the Daily Independent newspaper. On the front page of the Daily Independent, federal government removes VAT on diesel cooking gas to crash prices. Gazette's regulation on withholding tax begins implementation January 1st. Herdsmen kill 2 soldiers, 6 others, and cut away arms on page 6. Protesters occupy Ondo INEC office, wants REC the wreck removed. Tinubu jets out to UK on annual leave. Israel bans UN Secretary General from entering country. Excuse me. Leave now. Federal government advises Nigerians in Lebanon. How are they going to leave? Are we making plans for them? Anyway, APC vows to oppose Rivers October 5th local government election. Bamidele denies working against Yoruba interest. Emirates in talks with Nigerian Airlines for code-share agreement. Reps reject CFR national honor conferred on Speaker Abbas. Demand same GCUN award conferred on Akpabio. Mogalu, former APC chieftain, joins Labour Party. Atiku seeks rotational presidency, strengthening of electoral laws. Local government poll. Governor Fubara declares October 3rd and 4th public holidays, restricts movement from midnight Friday to 5 p.m. Saturday. And that's all on the Daily Independent. Now let's take a look at the leadership.
On the leadership this morning, 169 passengers feared dead in Niger boat mishap. 31 rescued, 70 bodies recovered. Very sad story. Tinubu embarks on a 2-week leave. Local Government Election Commission bill will kill democracy, says NNPP. And also, Israel slams travel ban on UN Chief Guterres over Iran. Just bear in mind that, the strikes in Gaza have killed more than 100 or maybe 150 UN workers, by the way. Scores dead as bandits clash in Katsina State. Poverty in northern Nigeria on the increase, as minister. And also, Boko Haram, Aliundume seeks engagement of mercenaries to fight Boko Haram in the northern part of Nigeria. I think we should start with, the president's trip to the UK, for his annual leave. He's going to relax and use the time to also ponder on Nigeria's economic realities and, his administration's run so far. So is it wrong for anyone who finds it awkward?
Well, you started from there. I had wanted to start with the National Assembly and the Honors Award, but since you've brought the president's trip into the mix, let's deal with it. The president has a right to go on annual leave. He's a human being. You go your own annual leave. I do. So I don't see any problem with that. But my question and my problem with that is that, have you ever seen the Prime Minister of United Kingdom or the President of the United States, when they go on leave, they travel to another country to go on leave? That should be fundamental to us. Why is it that Nigerian leaders, when they want to go on leave, the first place they go to UK or they go to United States, especially UK? I don't even know what we have. We've untied our umbilical cord with United Kingdom since 1960. So I don't know why every president will want to go, starting with Buhari. So You ask yourself, why is the president going to UK? That is one. Two, we still have so many fundamental issues that the president just came back from China. On his way from China, he branched in UK. He didn't tell us what he went there to do. He was there for some days, and we thought he has gone on our wall again. Only for us to see some videos, although nobody could be able to clarify that, but finally he came back. The presidency promised us that the president is going to rejig his ministers. And they were specific that on or before the 1st of October. If I got that right, if I got that statement right, today is the 3rd. Nothing has been said. He has delivered his speech, his anniversary speech, and we've gone silent again on the issue of minister. And he himself said that by his words, by the words of his spokespersons, that the ministers, most of them are not performing optimally. Yeah. And this is 16 months since the president took over as the president. What have we been able to achieve in this last year? So those are the, so he had his work cut out. I don't have any problem with him going on leave, as I said. But the fact is that there's so much work to be done. In his speech, last speech, he said he has put his hand on the plow. But when you put your hand on the plow, you don't look back. I think even it's biblical. They say put your hand on it. Those are the words that we used to use, toast babes in those days. When we were in the university. Put my hands on your plow, I'm not going to look back. Oh, Lori. But the fact remains that the president has so much work. Nigerians are dying of hunger. Insecurity is on the high. Students can't go to school because their parents cannot afford sending them to school. The cost of drug is on an all-time high. I will just finish an Independence Day celebration. Dollars is, as of yesterday, dollar is about 1,700. The pounds are rating to about 225 or 215 or thereabouts. 2,215 or 2,000. So those are mirage of problems that we have. So for me, the president should be just rolling up his sleeves. This is not time for him to go on leave. And he said we should not pity him. He said that, you know, that he was well prepared for this job. And he has been preparing for this job since 1999. Not when since he became the governor of Lagos State. The president has been eyeing that seat. So much expectation. But he say he needs some rest. Well, let us wait and see. I want to believe, because of the timing, because there is a constitutional provision now that if the president is going on leave, depending on the period, that he should transmit power to the deputy vice president. I don't think he's ever done that. I don't think he has done that. But that's why I say he has a time frame. I'm sure that it has a time frame. So maybe they are bridging that time frame. If it's not more than 2 weeks or there, no, just 2 weeks. I think it's way longer than that. If it's not more than 2-3 weeks, then he has to transmit. But I think it's going for. Let's wait and see. But the president, wherever you are, just as you are resting, just know that Nigerians are not resting. Fundamental. Okay, now
you can get into the controversy in the House concerning CFR honor for Speaker Abbas and, of course, GCON for Kikireku.
Unnecessary controversy. But let me even start like this. What have the Speaker, the Senate President, or the CGN achieved that they deserve national honor? That's where we should start from. 1 year in office, 1 of 16 months, 14 months. What have they done? What has the President of the Senate achieved that they deserve a national honor? What has the Speaker of the House done that deserve such a national honor? The CJN that is just taking office just about 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. What has she done? So those are the issues for me. Not even whatever who deserve, right. Because this is honor. These are honor. You are being honored for what we have achieved. I would have thought that it is at the expiration of every tenure that you can now say, oh, for what we have done for Nigeria, for what you have done for the people, for what we bestow you with this honor. But we always like putting the cart before the horse. That is one for me. Then going to the issues raised by this, and I ask you, it's just that these guys are just unnecessary. For goodness sake, you said the National Assembly is one, the House of Representatives and that of Senate, they are equal, and I say no. We have 3 senators from each state. For House of Representatives, it's based on federal constituencies. In Kano, you have over 40 House of Representative members. That is one side. The provision of the 1999 Constitution make it clear the roles of the Senate and that of the... Let's start with this. it is only the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that confirms ministers. The House of Representatives don't do that. If they're going to be basic board appointment like CBN and the rest of them governor, it is the Senate. It is the Senate that confirms the Chief Justice of Nigeria. The House of Representatives have nothing to do with that. So when you look at the fundamental, I'm not trying to build some kind of but I'm telling you that by the provision of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, the Senate and House of Representatives had it. So whether that in itself should be a reason why the Senate President should be GCON or whatever it is neither here nor there. But my own take is that they are not deserving. For me, those that are deserving, let me say, I stand to be corrected. There's a woman, an Igbo woman, that the governor of Borno State went to the state, a primary school teacher, a secondary primary school teacher, that the governor said when he got to that school at about 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., some time ago, that he saw that woman in the school already. That he was shocked that that woman was in school. He was a primary school teacher. Despite the high level of insecurity in Maiduguri and Borno State, that he was shocked that somebody that is not even from the state is a primary. And that woman was promoted. I think he promoted the woman to other assistant, assistant teacher or head teacher. My brother, that is a woman that deserves a honor. Because when you do that, you motivate
people like that.
That is those people like that. Those are the kind of people. When you do that, you motivate them. I don't know the young man that is this thing. The list is not yet out, so let me not preempt what is going. There's a young man that worked with FAN, Federal Aviation Authority, FAAN, and that was sweeping. Was it one of the international airlines in Abuja? Either in Abuja, I think in Abuja. And because of sweeping that, the guy saw $30,000 cash.
And he returned it. So the woman you're talking about now is Mrs. Obiageli.
You must have got it.
According to the reports, the governor gave her 100,000 naira, increased her salary from 35,000.
I don't know whether she has been given her national
100,000. Yeah.
I know that governor. So what I'm saying is that we should. This is not. If you look at that list when it comes out, 90% of them will be politicians.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, I think before President Bori left, he also gave national honors to, a variety of people.
Including celebrities.
Yeah, exactly. So there are those honors, but the GCO and the CFR, they're very likely referred to a certain class of people. But I get your argument that these people haven't necessarily done anything to make them worthy of...
The Senate President has gotten an award, I think CON, when he was governor or something like that. But what I'm saying is that what has Godswill Akpabio achieved in the last 16 or 14 months that he has been Senate President?
Okay. You've made reference to the fact that the list has been politicized, the list of those who have received these honors. Let's talk about another list that some have said will be politicized, and that's if the confab does happen, who and who will make it to the list, who will be the youths that will make it to the list. So there are different arguments. This Nigerian newspaper says ethnic nationalities, confab, ethnic nationalities, youth leaders hail president. While some are hailing the president that this is a good idea, there are others who are criticizing it. And I'll come back to take your thoughts regarding the confab. But let's hear from Lenin calling from Abuja. Good morning, Lenin.
Good morning, Olive. Good morning, everyone in the studio.
Good morning.
I want to commiserate with people that died in Niger State, the 300 people died. May their soul rest in peace. Amen. I want to talk about this award. The analyst, they said, what are they awarding them for? They're awarding them for putting Nigeria in hardship. So it's a very, very simple thing. Because in a normal sense, if you want to sit down and talk, it doesn't make sense to a sane person. It doesn't make sense to a sane person. What are you awarding them for? Abbas, what are you awarding Abbas for? What has he done? What bill has he sponsored? What has he done to ordinary Nigeria? And for the president traveling to the UK for medical checkup, it just shows that our healthcare system is bad. That is just it.
But he hasn't said he's going for health reasons. He's going for his holiday, his annual leave.
Holiday, okay, annual leave. We all know these things. The last time, some people saw him in the hospital, so we all know these things. Let's call it straight away. Now, let's say something. Let me say something. In a family, if the father provides food and he doesn't eat from the If a father provides food and the mother cooks, and the mother always goes outside to eat, that means our food is not sweet. That is it. That is just a simple thing. That is just a simple analogy.
All right.
Or they are quarreling. They're having husband and wife quarrel. It's either of those.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Lenny.
Lenny.
So he's over.
Have you ever had to eat outside for any?
Well, when the needs arises, why not?
No, because of fight.
No, because
Fight. In those days, I think those days it was much easier for our parents to just say, where you quarrel, where dad did quarrels with mom just bring food, and I say, just tie wrapper in the house. Now, if you leave that food before you move to the next wave, somebody has
No time.
delivered.
All right.
Hunger go wire.
Let's talk about
They want
confab and your thoughts regarding the logic behind confab and the impact or lack of it that you think it will have.
Well, I'm sure you must have discussed this severally, but my personal take is just a total waste of time. Absolute total waste of time. Because what you want to achieve with the confab, youth confab, there's nothing that you want to achieve that those that have been protesting on the streets have not told you. The end bad governance protest, the one happened a few days ago. You know all the problems. We all know the barrage of problems.
Yep.
That this, for me, is just diversionary. And for goodness sake, you want to have a youth confab for 30 days, 1 month, what will you be discussing? You'll be wasting money, wasting resources. You are going to accommodate the people. You are going to pay for their transportation. You are going to feed them, definitely.
People will start lobbying for contracts with
that is just another money for the boys. And at the end of it all, you come to realize that 99.9% of those that are going to be youth from the parties, mostly from the ruling party. The OK boys. So for goodness sake, do we need to waste resources? Just what do you want to discuss? Let me even consider that there is need for us to talk to the youth. For goodness sake, 1-2 days, is it not enough for you to have a body discussion?
Our guest yesterday pointed out the UN General Assembly, United, it's not more than 3 days. So what is...
That is what I'm asking you. So what are you going to... It's just diversity. It is just the same problem we've been having, where they say, oh, we're going to give money to certain individuals. We have over 15 million on the list. We have been disbursing 50,000, 100,000, blah, blah. Bring out that list. Let us have a look at it. Nobody's trying to... And I continue to ask, why is it that our government continue to make the same mistake? Is it that they are taking us as fools, or they believe we are so naive, or they believe that we just don't know what we're doing? For goodness sake, this youth, they want to gather together. Over 80-90% of them don't have jobs. We don't keep data in this country, and that is a problem. Because if we keep data, you come to know that out of every 10 Nigerian graduates, at least 8 of them, that is those that have finished their youth service or qualify, at least 8 of them will not get a job. So have you discussed the issue of creating more jobs, making the environment very, very... Practically everybody is jackpot. And there was something I was saying the other day, and people were laughing at me. Doctors are jackpot. Nurses are jackpot. Even journalists are jackpot. Bankers, professionals. Why is it that we don't have politicians jackpotting from Nigeria?
Well, because they have fluidity of movement from here and there, from here to...
No, because they are enjoying. Forget what is fluidity in Oyibo now. It's true. Because the only thriving job in Nigeria now is politics. If you don't hit, you don't hammer. If you don't hit, you do. Yeah. Then the second one closer to it is, you should ask me, religion or pastors. Those are the two for me. Any other thing, look at the sectors, economic sectors. Everything is going down. People cannot afford to eat. And I continue to say this. Eat. Now, we'll not talk of accommodation, no. Because a certain set of people that buy new clothes. Since this one where I wear so, it don't do over 3 years for my body. I can't remember when last I decided to go and get new clothes. All right.
Let's quickly speak with Etim from the FCT as well. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Etim.
Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Eki. I'm calling from Abuja. Good morning, Oli.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir, and good morning to the guests in the studio. I just want to quickly, first of all, commiserate with those that died in the Niger issue. But please, it's high time the maritime or whatever association in Nigeria do something about getting life jacket for these villagers.
it can be enforced so that you don't go on the waters without life jacket. We just cannot continue to treat the symptoms rather than treating or dealing with the issues or the root issues of all these our problems. Every now and then, this is what you hear all over the river. It's got to stop. That is for that. Secondly, on this whole youth confab or whatever they want to call it, it's just a waste of time, just as the guest has said. We should please do things better the way it's done in civilized world. And then finally, on this whole electoral thing, please, I think it's high time, taking a clue from what happened in Edo State, I think it's high time we stop talking about buying of votes. Please, buying of votes is not the issue. We should deal with the core issue, which, of course, has to do with electoral reform. So rather than having harsh bad governance, harsh fearless, let's have harsh electoral reform. That is the pain of Nigeria's problem. Anytime you continue to talk about the issue of buying of votes, Nigerians are hungry, that's why they vote, they traded their vote. Please, we're only key into what the politicians want to hear. The civil society, they get a lot of money from outside. The government knows that. So the civil society, the media, and everybody come together and say, harsh electoral reform, harsh electoral reform, harsh electoral reform. That is what we need in this country. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much for calling, Etim. So many issues that Etim has highlighted.
Yes, let me just take off from where he stopped. When we're talking about, I say this time and time again, what we are practicing is civilian government, not democracy. What Nigeria is currently practicing, probably from 1919, I'm not just saying because of just this current, is civilian government. Because the simple definition, remember the simple definition of democracy?
Government of the people, for the people, and by the people.
Then if you equate that with what is happening, are the government that we've been having, are they the government of the people? Are they elected by the people? So except we can be able to get that narrative right, then what we're just... So I want to continue repeating that. What we are practicing in Nigeria is there's a difference between civilian government and democracy. Until people's vote start counting. You saw in Edo State election just about the turnout was about 25-29%. That is huge. That means you are talking about close to about 70% of the people refuse to come and vote.
Yeah. And
it could be several factors, including voters apathy, because they believe that their vote won't count. And I've said it time and time again that in the Nigerian system, the Nigerian political class, when you go to university, the University of Nigerian Politics, if you go to the University of Nigerian Politics, what you learn are fundamental three things. Number one, Politics 101, rigging. Politics 102, how to use thugs. Politics 103, probably because you know win by all costs, then go to the courts using the judiciary. That is practically what everybody is doing. So except we agree, and that's why I totally agree with Etim, but we must make sure that we have an umpire that is unbiased. We have a system, security agencies that are unbiased. We have a situation where Nigerians know that they can willingly go out to vote, and their vote is going to count. If you know that you're going to, for goodness sake, the United States is going to vote in November. Everybody, do you know that they've started voting already?
Yeah.
Those that are outside the country, what they used to call it, there's a name they have for it, diaspora voters. They will vote. And they make sure that those votes, that when they now properly have the election, those votes in the diaspora will count. But here, the one that we're even doing here is not even counting.
But
so
not yet ready for that. Even though we don't have the structures for that, but like you said, we've not even been able to conduct free, fair, credible elections here.
Until we do that, this issue of democracy is... Then just to talk about the issue of the life that we are lost. Yes, as we're rounding up. The life that we are lost. For goodness sake. And I like what, I don't know which of the speakers said. He was talking about issue of life jackets.
So according to reports, we're hearing that what may have led to it is overloading.
How can a boat carry 300 people? Sheep, how many people do a sheep carry? And that is not just, that is people. You are not talking about the loads. So what I think that the agencies of government, is it what's the
NEMA?
No, not NEMA. There's a particular charge of maritime this thing. Yeah. I know they came out a few days ago to give guidelines. Everybody that wants to go must have jacket, and one of them and the rest of them. But the fact is that, and is that if you look at, if you have gone through the trajectory, Niger State have been so consistent with that.
All right,
and that loss of lives.
We need to go. I think, you know, it should be criminalized if you do carry passengers with a life jacket. You should go to jail. All right. Thanks very much, Chris Kehinde Nwandu, for your thoughts this morning, and thanks to our callers and those who, of course, watching us across the world.